The sales associate finally spotted me and almost started crying. "Ms. Brown, I'm so sorry. This dress just dropped this morning, and before I could lock it up, Ms. Locke was already trying it on. I wasn't trying to make the girl sweat. Plus, that dress had already touched somebody else's body. So I was over it." I shot her a chill smile. "It's fine. If Ms. Locke wants it so bad, she can have it. Didn't y'all get that super exclusive piece in this morning? Let me check that out instead." I tapped that black card in my bag. Since my future husband was so eager for me to spend his money, I might as well do him this one favor. Avery walked out right when I said that. He rolled his eyes hard. "Amanda, can you stop embarrassing yourself? I told you I'm marrying Stella, not you. Why are you still doing this? And you even know how much that piece costs. 10 million. How could you possibly afford it?" I smiled, pulled out that black card and passed it to the associate. "No need to try it on. I'll just take it." Then I bounced out, leaving Avery looking shook and Stella mad salty. That evening, I had a video call with Oscar. It was my first time talking face to face with him since my rebirth, and I felt somewhat nervous. Finally, we agreed to get our marriage papers the morning he came back, though we were about to be husband and wife. It was kind of funny since we barely knew each other. Not even 5 minutes after the video call, Avery hit me up all accusatory. "Amanda, where'd you get the money for that crazy expensive dress? You better not be doing something shady behind my back. You were trying to get at Stella at that shop today, weren't you? Didn't I tell you to leave my fiancé alone? You've been doing all this wedding stuff just to make me marry you, huh? Let me make this clear, I will never do it." I was feeling quite good after talking to Oscar, but Avery just messed it up. I was so done with him, so I snapped. "Avery, I'm only gonna say this one more time, you are not the one I'm marrying." He was straight up driving me crazy, but no matter what I said, he wouldn't get it through his head. That night, Avery posted on Facebook, "Getting my marriage certificate with my first and forever love on the 18th. All friends are welcome to come see us make it official." Good for them, I guessed. As fate would have it, Oscar and I were planning to get our papers done that same day. The following days, Avery was so busy taking wedding photos with Stella that he finally stopped bugging me. On the 18th, I pulled up to the city hall rocking that $1 million wedding dress, waiting for Oscar outside. Just thinking about how his jaw was gonna drop when he saw me had me smiling to myself. I waited in the car till I saw Avery and Stella go inside first. No way I was letting anyone mess up my big day. But drama found me anyway. "Amanda, that you?" Some guy who came in after me called out, making Avery's crew in line look back. "God, Avery's getting married and you're showing up looking like this. You really out here being the most loyal simp, pulling up to the city hall in a whole wedding dress." Avery burst in to check out the commotion. The second he spotted me, his face twisted up and he went off. "Amanda, what the hell are you doing here? Dressed like that? How thirsty can you be? Think this little stunt's gonna make me put a ring on it? Save yourself the trouble. I won't marry you. Stella's the one." He pulled Stella tight against him, giving me a smug look. I was dead silent but kinda laughing inside. I got real serious. "I told you, I'm not marrying you. I'm dressed up but not for you. My man is gonna be here any minute, so please stay away from me." His crew started dying laughing, clowning me for doing the most to marry Avery, saying I took being thirsty to another level. "Amanda, we're tired of you playing hard to get. Stop dreaming Avery's about to get his papers with Stella. If you're that desperate to get married, just pick one of us, for real. I wouldn't mind taking Avery's crazy fans for once." Avery sneered. "Come on, you guys are really interested in such a boring, annoying woman. Forget it. Whoever can get her, she's yours. I wouldn't take her even if she were begging." His trash talk pushed me over the edge. I swung to slap him, but he caught my wrist mid-air. I shot daggers at him and growled, "Get it through your thick skull, Avery. I told you, I'm not here to marry you. And I never wanted to marry your sorry ass in the first place." Instead of getting mad, he let out a nasty laugh. "Yeah, right, Amanda, who are you trying to fool? You've been stalking me since we were in kindergarten, been all up on me for years, even tried to force me to wife you. Now you're acting like you're over me? Impressive. So, where's this guy you're all dressed up for? Funny how he's keeping you waiting." I yanked my hand away, my face hot with anger. His words cut deep, and my eyes started to water. Then, a deep voice boomed from behind me, "Back the hell off." Avery, he had always been especially tolerant of Isabel. No matter what mistakes she made, he would overlook them for the sake of her being a widow with a child. But now, Isabel had actually encouraged Liliana to do such thing. Jesse felt utterly humiliated, seeing his beloved crying so sadly. Chandler felt heartbroken. He frowned and looked at me. I've already agreed to marry you. What more do you want? Must you drive Liliana to desperation before you're satisfied? As soon as he finished speaking, his father slapped him hard across the face. Shut your mouth. You have no say here. Jesse looked coldly at this father and son pair and said, you don't need to put on this touching father-son act in front of me. Andrea will never marry into your family. This slap completely enraged Chandler. He glared at his father. In this lifetime, I'll marry no one but Liliana. Father, if you like Andrea so much, you can marry her yourself. Alex Martin, Archer's father, who had been watching coldly from the sidelines, couldn't help but sneer. Is this the Lakin family's upbringing? After saying this, he looked at Jesse. In this matter, both our families are victims. How about our two families form a marriage alliance? What do you think? Jesse stared at Alex in disbelief. Do you think my daughter is some commodity for people to pick and choose from? Alex smiled and explained. Now that's not a nice way to put it. When word of today's incident gets out, our family will lose face. But Andrea is the real victim here. How will she be able to marry in the future? Jesse was about to refuse when he heard me speak calmly. What benefit would there be for me in forming a marriage alliance with your family? Seeing me speak up, Alex's face immediately lit up with joy. He had been dissatisfied with Liliana for a long time. H always felt she was not only narrow-minded, but there was also a calculating gleam in her eyes. If it weren't for Archer's feelings for Liliana, he would never have allowed such a woman to set foot in their home. Now seeing me relent, he was naturally overjoyed. He said, Andrea, I can't guarantee everything else, but there are a few things I can absolutely promise. First, we'll divide the family assets. As soon as you to marry, I'll immediately go to the notary office to handle the paperwork for all our shops and property deeds. My two sons will each get 40%, and the remaining 20% will be kept for our retirement. Second, Alex drew out his tone, looking at Chandler with disdain before continuing slowly. The Martin family values propriety above all. Archer would never cause the kind of scandal where he gets entangled with his fiancé's cousin at an engagement party. As for the final point, after marriage, all assets belonging to you two must be registered under your name. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone present gasped in shock. This was practically giving away the entire family fortune to Andrea. The Martin family was really going all out for Archer's marriage. Only Chandler's family, Liliana, and Isabel looked grim. Alex's words were practically pointing at their noses and calling them shameless. I listened quietly and nodded. Others might not be able to tell if his words were true or false, but I knew better. In my previous life, after Liliana's death, Archer had followed his family's arrangements and married another woman. Although Archer didn't love her, he still treated her with utmost care and consideration. All the family's properties and deeds were put under that woman's name, while he himself owned nothing. If I could be with such a person, even if he didn't love me, at least he wouldn't harm me. Moreover, with the advantage of information from my rebirth, I might not need to depend on a man to survive. It's just that the social climate of this era was ultimately harsh toward women. If I didn't marry, Jesse and Phoebe would be subjected to gossip and bear the burden of shame. I didn't care what happened to me, but I couldn't drag them into controversy. I said, all right, then I'll consider it. Hearing this, Archer's parents were both stunned, then broke into satisfied smiles. But Liliana, who had been watching from the sidelines, could no longer sit still. She looked at Alex angrily. Why? That's not what you said before. You clearly said you'd only give 30% of the family assets. And you never said you'd transfer all the assets to my name. Alex frowned at her. Since you got engaged to Archer, what haven't we provided for your food, clothing, and expenses? I made this decision because I was afraid you'd squander the family fortune. Besides, how do your family background and looks compare to Andreas? I simply prefer Andrea and am willing to offer up our family assets with both hands. What's wrong with that? Liliana was left speechless by his retort, looking tearfully at Archer. Are you just going to watch them bully your fiancé like this? Archer looked at her coldly. Miss Grant, please watch your words. I am no longer your fiancé. Liliana was left choking on her words and threw herself into Chandler's arms, sobbing. Seeing our two families settle the marriage matter in just a few exchanges, Chandler's expression grew increasingly sour. He pushed Liliana out of his arms and stormed up to me angrily. Andrea, you're my fiancé, and you're talking about marrying someone else right in front of me. Have you considered my feelings at all?